Hey guys, so I'm in my local Target today. I came to get my wife something, and naturally I figured I'd take a stroll down the toy aisle. So we're gonna check that out. So legend wise, nothing's changed. Plenty of dominoes, 2-packs, Squirrel Girls on clearance. Keep going down here, and at first I saw the White Ranger, right? And who doesn't want a White Ranger? So I started to get hit, but then they had the Mcfarlane figures stocked. So right off the bat, single carded Red Hood, Robin, the Screaming Face, the chilled out one, and then the whole rest of the Merciless Build-A-Figure wave. So clearly there was a case at some point. I'm actually about to check and see if anybody may have picked up the third variant, because if I can knock that out, I definitely will. And we're gonna go home and we're gonna open up Red Hood. And then for you WWE collectors, they've got the new deluxe edition of The Fiend and Hulk Hogan. And WWE's really stepping up their games for the elites. Oh man, this head sculpt is so beautiful. But if they had butterfly joints on that figure, I'd go ahead and get him too. Got the massive Brontosaurus. I'm thinking someone, if they didn't, they stashed that third Robin, so we're looking for it. Go check out the second spot that they normally have them. Asylum, Wonder Woman, and they are all the bad Batman. I think that Arkham Origins one is just ugly. I think these are new for Funko collectors. I just saw pictures of that today, but I might be wrong. You got Splinter. 3 Kangs. That's nuts. I know some people are still chomping at the bits to find that one. And that's about it, guys. That's going to be it for my toy hunt video. And now I can't wait to open him up. Alright guys, so that was easily probably the most successful toy hunt I've had in probably 2 years. That was ridiculous. I can't believe that I just happened to walk in and see a whole Merciless wave. 2 Robins. One's great, but 2? I dug and I tried to find the third, but I guess that already got. It's cool. I'm grateful for what I got, but I'm so excited for this Red Hood. He is awesome. Me and the boy are going to open it up, and I haven't even gotten this thing out, and I really hope I'm not going to be disappointed, because this thing looks stunning. I can't wait to paint some details on it. Oh man, this is probably going to be my favorite McFarlane figure for the Batman series, and I cannot wait. Oh, I can't wait. We'll get into it. Hey guys, now that I've made it back home, we can talk about Red Hood, Jason Todd. Now, I did film a segment where I unboxed it and went through that whole spill, but it didn't work out. So here we are with this version of it, take 2. So with Jason Todd, I do want to talk about the character, because it's so important to the Batman mythos to know what happens with him, and especially for modern Batman, what that character means and represents. So Jason Todd originally showed up in Batman 357, and initially he was just this punk kid. Like, he was stealing the tires off of Batman. They redid his origin twice. He was full of attitude, which at that time period, that was kind of a thing. But it just didn't take well. And a lot of people did not like that character. They disliked him so much that DC decided that they need to do something with it. In fact, they don't even know what to do with it. They're going to let the people decide what to do with it. So they created a 1-800 number and let people call and vote whether this character lived or died, because ultimately they didn't even care anymore. So what ended up happening in issue 428 of Batman, to summarize it, his long-lost mother shows up, Joker kidnaps her, Joker kidnaps him, taunts Batman like, oh, la, 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 I got your sidekick, da, 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 come save him, da. So Joker beats Jason Todd almost to death with a crowbar. And it's brilliant. It's beautiful. It's well done. It's from a story called A Death in the Family. I highly recommend you read it just because it's 4 issues. It's small, it's easy to digest, and it leaves an impact. It's very good. Can't stress it. Good. It's just him getting beaten to death with a crowbar, the visualization of Batman picking up one of his best friends' dead bodies, traumatize him for life, right? So you have timeless scenes of Jason Todd's Robin suit in the Batcave just kind of hanging there, and it's important, it's great, it's very symbolic for Batman mythos. So then you jump forward like 20 years, and now we have Red Hood, who showed up in issue 635 of Batman. Now, just a few, few issues before, in Batman 608, it starts the Hush storyline. So with Hush, if you have not read it, you need to go on Amazon and buy the trade. I'll put a link to it for you. Just buy the trade paperback, because that is one of the best comic book storylines ever made. Like, if you had a friend that's like, oh, I want to read comic books, but I don't know where to start, and they talk about Batman, you buy them Hush and send them on their way. Can't recommend it higher. Anyway, Jason Todd's character shows up as a modern version, but it ends up being Clayface. So it already sets the ball in motion for that. Anyway, now that we've covered the origin of the character, we're going to get into the figure. Just look at it. Just look at that candy apple red head. It's so pretty. Like, it doesn't show, like, you can see the gloss sheer shine right here, but until you have it in your hand, it just does not pick up how candy apple red it is. It looks like they use car automotive paint on a head sculpt, and the result is phenomenal. But let me go ahead and flip this around so you guys can see what I'm talking about. Alright guys, and here we are with the DC Jason Todd, and I wish the camera picked up just how beautiful this head sculpt is. It's gorgeous. This is like you wouldn't expect anything less from McFarlane with beautiful sculpt. This is on point. All the little details in the armor, down to the shin guards having scratches on it. The boots alone are just beautiful. Some of the best sculpted shoes. And I'm talking about shoes ever made. You've got your dual Desert Eagles, which are very nice. These aren't. They're just kind of little cheap chrome plastic pieces. But you do have your Red Hood logo on the side of it. It looks a little bit more like Nightwing than it does Red Hood, but it's there. It's still cool. There is no wrist hinge at all, so the only way the wrist will articulate is by twisting it that way. You do get bicep swivel, which is cool. I was a little surprised that they actually included that, because I thought this was going to be one solid piece. Instead, you do have butterfly joints. It doesn't give a big range of motion, but it's there. It's subtle. You can pop that chest out, make a dynamic pose. If you have a Batgirl, you can be all like, I'm here. He does have ab crunch. It's not anything substantial, but again, it's there, so you can have him bending over. The best part of it to me is how high you can get the leg. It doesn't give you, well, I guess you could. You can almost get full 90 degrees bend out of that leg. Same with here, Sparta. But it's there. And, for postability, the postability factor on this figure is really, really good, especially for a McFarlane figure. So I had Flashpoint Batman up here because he's a good example. I love this figure. It's beautiful. It is on my mantle because I display it. You cannot pose him for anything. He's got your basic stuff, but if you want to raise these legs up, it's not going to happen. In fact, I broke the leg just trying to get it out of the plastic. So he will forever just stay like that. His head might go up a little bit, it might go down, it might go side to side, That's about as posed as he's going to get. Kind of the same thing with Jason over here. Like his head, that's as high as the head will go up. He cannot look like a dog. He cannot look up. I'm not quite sure if it's the jacket that's making it that way. We'll find out here real quick. Kinda. No, he just doesn't like to look up. That might take some modding to do, but here nor there. Again, beautiful, beautiful figure. This is very clean. It's got a very matte red to it. It contrasts great with how glossy this is. And man, I love this figure. This figure is easily an 8 out of 10 for me. My only gripes with it are minor and just personal preferences. If he had a wrist hinge, kind of like any other McFarlane figure, I just think it would give a little bit more, I don't know, dynamic to it, especially with how you choose to pose it. Like, you can kind of get the old, oh, who is it? Rick Grimes. You can get the Rick Grimes pistol whip out. But not with this guy. And then the lack of paint on the Desert Eagle, it bothers me, but if you've watched my channel, you know I'm a huge Desert Eagle fan. And there's just no paint there. The sculpt's all there, so I can fix it, but there's no paint. Like, there's no port to put in smoke effects. It looks like they tried, but maybe it's an issue with mine, but that's just a solid chunk. This is one solid chunk of silver plastic. Alright, you guys, and there you have it. That is my first impression of this figure, and easily an 8 out of 10. I love that I can get the legs up if I want to. I like the sleek, slender build to it because it gives more posability to it. It kind of sucks you can't lift the head up, but I'm sure that there's going to be someone who mods it. Other than that, 8 out of 10. Keep saying 8 out of 10 because the gripes that I have are minor and all personal bias. Outside of that, I'm sure this could be 10 out of 10. I'm sure this is going to be some people's figure of the year because it deserves to be quite honest. Now, the only difference between this and the 2-pack that I'm aware of is just the shade of brown the jacket is. I want to say the 2-pack that comes with Nightwing is a little bit lighter brown, kind of closer to a Desert Storm or a khaki, versus this is really brown leather. So, it's really up to you if you don't have Nightwing. And like, I was even looking at the Nightwing at Target today because they have the classic, they had 10 classic blue Nightwing figures, and that's a good sculpted figure. If it goes on clearance for, you know, 10, 11 bucks, I'm definitely going to get it just to have Nightwing and say I did it. Now, one of my good friends, he actually picked me up a 2-pack of the Red Hood and that Nightwing figure. And, you know, naturally, I was like, yeah, I'll give you the cash. We'll get it squared away. Part of me almost wishes I would have called him and been like, hey, I'll get this for you, but I'll take that 2-pack. But schematics, as they say. But that concludes my video, guys. At this point, I am just kind of ranting and raving for no reason. But this is going to be a figure of the year. Not for me, but for a lot of people. McFarlane has been hitting it out of the park with their figures. The only thing that they can do better is kind of make more posability. Like, for the love, please give me a 5 swivel. Like, if I can just, I don't even care. I didn't even care before, but if I could have just turned that thigh, I'd have been so much happier. But that's it. Just give me 5 swivel. And look up. Like, you can't look up to kind of meh. Anyway, besides the point. Great figure. If you have the opportunity to pick him up, by all means, do so, because you won't regret it. If you're a fan of the character at all, then this is a must-have. It will go with anything, because like McFarlane, these are miniature statues. These are posable, $20 miniature statues. Bang for buck, you cannot do better than McFarlane as far as, you know, quality. Because if this is on a shelf, if this guy's on a shelf, you're going to see it. And you're going to be proud that you have it. Much like I am. I'm very grateful. I'm blessed to have... I can't believe I found this thing still. Because I'm seeing pictures on Instagram of people seeing it in Florida and California, but I found it in Monroe, Louisiana. So I'm very happy, I'm very blessed, and I'm very fortunate. If you were a fan of this video, please like, comment. I love comments. I like getting feedback, and I like just engaging in the hobby with other people. So by all means, even if it's hate, if you want to say I suck and you don't like how I make videos, cool. I'll learn from it, and I'll try to do better next time for you. Just give me a thumbs up, subscribe, and I hope you guys have a blessed new year. Because the world's crazy out there, guys. Stay safe.